is, right up there. Nice. Well, hey everybody, welcome back. All right, I got a cool location for you today. So over the years, you know, I'm out and about bouncing around on a dusty trail, and from time to time I do run into off-road enthusiasts, you know, guys on side-by-sides and Jeep folks. Yep. And from time to time they say, hey, have you ever been to Simon, Nevada? And I'm like, no, never heard of it. And they're always like, yeah, you got to go check it out. It's really super cool, and it's on all the trail maps. So that's what I did. I pulled up the trail maps, and indeed, yep, it's a popular waypoint, so to speak. And that's what we're doing today. Yeah. So here we are. Wow, this is really cool. I can see where the mill site used to be. I believe the shaft is higher up on the side of the hill. We've got an ore bin here with a trestle. This site is so large, guys, that the only way to truly document it in such a way to where we can kind of like fit it all into 30 or 40 minutes, we're gonna have to get the drones up in the air. So let's do that. Let's start things out by telling you a little bit about the history of Simon, Nevada.
The Simon Mine was first discovered in 1879, at which time small quantities of lead ore mined from the Gossan were collected and shipped off for assay. The true wealth and size of the ore body was not discovered until 1919, when silver-bearing lead-zinc ores were discovered in the sulfide zone below the Gossan that had been previously prospected and sampled in 1879. In 1921, the Simon Silver Lead Mine Company erected a 100-ton flotation mill at the mine, and in 1923, the company was reorganized under its present name, and the mill enlarged to handle 250 tons per day. Up until 1927, the mill operated at 4 different periods and had treated 93,000 tons of ore and produced over 6,000 tons of lead and 5,000 tons of zinc concentrates, having a gross smelter value of over $740,000 period value. The mill was eventually closed in 1927, but prior to that, the mill's equipment included a 150 horsepower hoist, a compressor, a drill sharpener, pumps, electrical and lighting plant, and camp buildings. Mill equipment included a No. 5 Alice Chalmers gyratory crusher, a No. 3 Kennedy gyratory crusher, an Alice Chalmers tube mill, a Marcy ball mill, and 2 5x6 foot Oliver filters. In total, the Simon Mine produced over 500,000 tons of ore via its primary 800-foot shaft, but as of today the shaft has collapsed and workings are now entirely flooded below the 300-foot level.
Alright guys, so my strategy today is to fly the drone around and kind of observe everything, and then if we see something really extraordinary, then I'll get out, grab the handheld camera, and we'll get a closer look at it. Now this big tank here, notice the rivets on it. See the cone-shaped rivets? Now, I learned that this came off of a rail car. Yeah. Yep, that used to be on a rail car, and I'm not 100% sure what they were doing with it here. Maybe it was just for water one can only guess. It's not a boiler. It's definitely just for holding liquid. Let's look at the top here. Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, well, we've got a building over here. We need to go get a closer look at that. Now, back in the... And again, I'm only guessing. It could have been the 70s, 80s, somewhere in there. There was some folks out here that reclaimed this location, and they were doing a whole bunch of core drilling. So that's why, you know, as we explore, we're going to be seeing some modern things here. Okay, let's take a look at this space. Look at the rail down on the ground there. Isn't that cool? Oh, and over here off to the left, we've got ourselves a bunch of sample trays. Let's get a closer look at those. So a lot of times they put dates on those, so I'm going to have to, we'll eventually get out, take a closer look at that. I want to see if any of those have dates on them. You can clearly see all the cores. There's a whole bunch right there laying on the ground. Okay, turn it around. Oh, slow down there, Mr. Drone. The wind's blowing a little bit. You can see kind of tossing me around a bit. Let's see what's in the shop over here. A whole bunch more core samples off to the right, and oh, at one time they had a reason to try to keep this secure. See that? They put up cyclone fencing. Think I can wiggle through that doorway? How good are my drone skills, huh? How good are my drone skills? Well, if I go like that and just kind of poke right through here, I think we got it. There we go. Okay, let's look in here. Oh yeah, just core samples everywhere. That's what they were doing. And that's why this building has all this galvanized tin on it. So as I was saying, probably 70s or 80s is when they were doing all of this. We'll just walk through the core sample building here, and then we'll head back outside. Isn't that neat? That is so cool how we've got rail here. So at one time, those ore carts came up from the mine from this direction, and that would have been like what, somewhere right over here. Right, before we go any further, let's look around the side of the building here, make sure we're not missing anything. What was this, like an old like a cabinet or something? Could have been. All right, back up. I want to turn around here. Okay, that rail kind of heads out this direction. Let's see where the rail used to go. Out this way, out this way. And then they pulled it. Okay. Went out that way, and then they pulled the track. So at one time, I don't know where it's going, but, you know, somewhere out this direction. Okay, let me reorientate you guys. We're headed back towards the big tank right now. And before we got another building off to our right, but before we go take a look at that, there is a bunch of debris below the hill right over here. I want to see what that's all about. Okay, we'll just kind of fly out this way. That's good enough. I think we can see it from there. Okay, now looking down, there might have been an old shaft right there. See, sometimes they dump interesting things off the side of these waste rock piles. Like that. Okay, that's what I was seeing. Oh, it's part of a Think of it as a means of, you got your ore coming in, then it funnels down before it goes on top of a flume. Or fast forward years later, it would have emptied onto a conveyor belt before it was brought over to the mill. I'll bet that piece of tin right there was used in the crushing operations. What do we have over here? There's a looks like to be maybe what's left of a stairs. See that? See, after they tore down the mill, then all of this debris ended up getting thrown over the side of the waste rock pile that we're looking at now. See, down here there's a mattress. I see barrels, old tires. Okay. Well, at least we went over here to quickly take a look. Like I said, you just never know. Alright, let's get back over here to our tank. And now what we're going to do is fly on past old Bob here. You're looking good today, old Bob. Yes, sir, you are. Because we've got another building right down here. Alright, let's see what you're all about. What do we have in here? Oh, just a shop. Think of it like a garage. Look at all the insulation they had in here. Now it's all fallen down. So the fact that they did that they insulated this, tells me that their core drilling operations were being done in the wintertime too. It's always good to have a place to park your equipment. See, there was a wood-burning stove in that corner over there. That's why there's a hole in the roof. Yep. Okay, let's get back outside. Tank's off to my right. There's the building over there we just explored. Now, let's go over here real quick. Because here is our mill site. Take a look at that. Now you see all of those pylons up there? Well, spread between those pylons was ball mills. So the material was fed from the top, and from what I can see here, this is a two-stage ball mill. So the larger ones are on top. That's going to do most of the crushing, and then it gets fed down to these other ones here. And then it's going to mill the ore smaller and smaller down to, say, like, 1/4 inch minus. We're flying between the pylons here. So, like, between 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, right here is a ball mill. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there's another ball mill. That's how they had them separated out. Very cool. Okay, let's go upstairs here. We're going to turn around one more time. We're going to fly back this direction. Now that barrel right down there, see the one with the big rings all going all the way around it? That's a cyanide barrel. So I'm not cyanide. Sorry, guys. That is a mercury barrel. Yep. Oh, okay. I got to do a battery change out. So, guys, I will be right back. Alright guys, back again. Okay, let's get back to where we just were. We were talking about that mercury barrel. Now the fact that they're using mercury out here tells me that there's a possibility they were finding trace amounts of gold too. Let's see what we have up here. Oh yeah, this is where all your various generators and engines and all that stuff on top of all of these pylons. Now they did have power out to this
location, and I'm not sure when it was brought in. I think it was in the mid-20s. But prior to that, they were using fuel-powered engines out here. Okay, let's see what we have here. Wonder if this is a pump house. Because the water table here sits at, about 300 feet down. So, let's just go right in here and see if we can run into a swarm of bees. Wouldn't that be funny? Oh, no, quit. Oh, the wind's buffering me a little bit here. Let's get out of here. Alright, let's turn around. Let's go in this room here. There we go. Alright, turning around. Looking around. Anything interesting? Okay. Well, how about over here? Let's peek around the corner here. I'm getting buffeted pretty good. I need to get out of here. Oh, hit the wall. See, that's why I like this little drone. It's got those prop guards, so it acts like a little tank. So for little bumpers like that, it's no big deal. Let's look down on the ground here. So they've got these little drainage canals. See that? Wonder what that's all about. Never seen anything quite like that. Guys, it's up to you. These are the various clues we're going to find. Maybe you guys can figure out. What do you think that this building was used for? I don't see any wellheads or anything like that, so your guess is as good as mine. Alright, what do we have back in here? Just some metal debris. Yeah, that's all that is. Okay. Alright, let's turn it around. The next thing I want to do, see, I can't explore too much further off to the right, because if I do, I'm going to lose my line of sight. So for this area, let's go over here and take a closer look at this ore bin. Let's drop down on it. We'll get real close here. Single chute ore bin with an ore slide. Of course, that's going to be used to load trucks. And it was either brought, that material was brought back up to the mill to be processed, or it was hauled off site to be processed somewhere else. Now, the rail going to this ore bin here is not going to be coming out of an adit like we've seen so many times in the past. No, that rail... See how it's on this level right here? That would have serviced the mill. Or this part of the mill. Let's get a closer look at that. Let's back up a little bit here. Yeah. Okay. Now, there's something over here. What is this? Let's get a better look at it. Wonder what all those boxes used to be. Those frames right there. Interesting. You never know. That's the fun thing about going to these sites. See, I like to see if I can, look at everything and then figure out the clues. And a bunch of stuff there. Now that tin looks like that's a lot older. That's definitely, we're back in the 20s and 30s with that tin. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to relocate so that we can start or continue to explore more or less the middle part of this mine. And then we're just going to keep working our way all the way along it until we find something super cool to pull out the handheld camera.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go land this. I'll be right back. Alright guys, back again. Let me orientate you as to where we are. There's the ore bin over there. Now I moved old Bob so we have a better line of sight so we can explore everything this direction. Okay. So this was the main shaft right here. This is the one that went down 800 feet. But the lowest working level of this mine was 1,000 feet. Of course, it's all flooded down in there. Yep, it was a vertical shaft. Let's get a better look at it. Little by little, every year, it gets filled up. Wow, 800 feet, 300 feet to the groundwater is what the report said. All right, let's see. What else do we have around here? Let's go off this direction. I think I have maybe just enough battery power that we can get a close look at what this might be right here. Oh, this was for electric. Yep. So inside here, you would have had all your switches and transformers. Let's get a closer look in there. Yep. That's what that was. And over here, there's still a power pole out here. I thought that was kind of neat. Let's see if I can find it. Was it right over... Where'd it go? Here it is. I wanted to get a close look with the drone and see if the insulators are still on there. Nope. Long gone. Yeah, people took those. See those wooden pegs? That's where all the insulators used to go. Okay. Alright. Time for a battery change. I'll be right back. Okay, so we just finished up with all of the power-related things off to the right-hand side. And now, according to the mining report, there was another shaft right over here. And we have a trestle. That's neat. Where's our trestle going? See, that's always a clue to that there might be an adit. And indeed, look here. Yep, this is going to be one of those adits that goes in and then meets up with the vertical shaft. Let's get a close look at it here. Ooh, it's looking kind of totally collapsed. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to, I'll tell you what, we will get out the handheld camera and get a closer look at that. See if that's something that could potentially be dug out. Alright, let's look up here now. Let's see what we have. See, I'm thinking it's going to be... See right here? See how that dirt's falling down? Yeah, it's going to be collapsed. But we'll still look at it. Hey, you just never know, right? over the years, I've been surprised many times thinking that something is, you're not able to get into it, and then look at this. Oh, we've got a stope. And I'll bet this is the adit that would have went over here. Let's look down on it. Looks like there's a possible working level down there. See? Indeed. Look. Look to the left. See the shadow of the drone? Either that was the adit or it went out this direction. Let's look. Yeah. That came right over here. Cool. Look at somebody put a ladder. That's really neat. Okay, well, we're gonna risk the drone now. Let's get a little closer here. That's really neat. All right, now the drone is in the danger zone. Hard to recover, especially if it bounced down into that right over there. Yeah, that's where the adit is. And it would have went right to this location. Everything's collapsed now. Cool. Very cool. I love this little guy. Makes my life and my legs feel a whole lot better. I wonder if they had a big shaft in here. Look at this whole thing is just completely gone now. All slumped. Let's look at some of the debris. Yep. Anything interesting off this direction? Well, you could just walk around out here for hours and look at all the different things laying around. You know, like take this for example. You know, sometimes, let me back up just a little bit. Sometimes the miners will put a date or even their name in the concrete. So, you know, that's what another thing I like to do is look at the perimeter of all these various concrete things and see if there's something like that in there. The date or the miner's name. Pretty big waste rock pile. They definitely pulled a lot out of that shaft. They certainly did. What's over here? Did we look at this yet? No, we haven't. Look at this. Another shaft. And it looks like it's pinched off with debris at the bottom. Yep. Okay. Alright. So that is this. I don't think there was anything else over here, but we're going to fly it and take a quick look. There's the adit below us. Let's just go real quick up this direction. Oh, see all the vent pipe? So what they did there is they pulled the wood out of that shaft. When they were done here, pulled all the wood up and out. Then they pulled the vent pipe going down in it and put it in a big pile over here. Alright, now what we need to do, guys, is we got to go look at some of these buildings. Here's another power pole over here. Let's go take a closer look at that, see if we have any insulators on it. Watch out for those wires. I'm surprised a bird hasn't turned that into his perch. Nope. All those insulators were pulled too. Okay. Alright, back over here. And now it's time to look at some buildings before we have to do another battery change out. Alright, where am I? I'm lost. Nope, going the wrong direction. Come on now. Down this way. See, if we didn't have this little drone, we'd be out here for hours. And this video would be 2 hours long. Look at this one. It would be so cool to know definitively what each one of these were used for. And you could find out. I'm sure with a little bit of work and a little more digging, you could find all that information on this site. Not much left of this one. Look at the little stairs that went down underneath there. Right here. Look at that. See that? That root cellar. Isn't that neat? Bet there's a few black widows in there, huh? A few rattlesnakes. I'm not going in there. Are you kidding me? This time of the year? I'll guarantee you there's a rattlesnake hiding in there somewhere. Alright, let's look over here. We have another one. Yeah, you go down on your hands and knees, come face to face with one of those noisy, crooked sticks. Boy, Mother Nature. Yep, she does her thing. She reclaims everything. It may take 100 or 200 years, but the day will come when all this will be dust. And since this was built in the 1920s, well, that's only 100 years ago, so, 200 years, it'll just be a pile of rotten wood. Now, I think that there was one more way up here. I might have just enough battery power to get to it. Let's see if we can get to it. Yep, I see it over here off to the left. Oh, there was a few up here. One there. Another one up here. Oh yeah. Whoever lived in this one had a nice view. See, as I turn around. Let's turn around here. They had a nice view of the mine site. Alright guys, that's it. We looked at everything with the drone. I really can't see anything else that I want to, fly the drones over. So what I want to do now is, let's put the drones away. I want to head back over to where those core samples were. I want to see if we can find the date on that. And then there's a orange fence around something over there. I want to see why that was erected. Maybe there's a sump that they didn't want people to fall into. And then when we get done doing that, we're going to head over here and get a closer look at that adit. Even though we know it's collapsed, I still want to get a closer look. Alright guys, I'll be back. Alright guys, this is the first thing I want to take a closer look at. Now off to my right over here, there's this orange plastic fencing. And there's a reason for that. Because on the other side of it is something very disturbing. Well, at least it disturbed me. It was very unexpected. Now, looking back off this direction, I've already showed you this with the drone, but it's pretty darn cool how the rail went from the mill over here. And now that I've stepped across that yellow fence, I know why. But we'll get to that in a minute. So, in here they were doing a bunch of assaying. That's what that is for right there. It's part of the process. I wouldn't call it the actual smelting furnace or the assay furnace, but it was a part of the process. Now, off to my right, you can see all of the core samples. And then when we look off this direction where we flew the drone, a whole bunch more are in here. Now, I I wanted to see if we could see a date. And I'm not seeing a date. I'm seeing box numbers, the core numbers, but they're not putting any dates on these. Excuse me. Okay, let's look up here. It's probably just going to be more of the same. Box numbers, the depth that they took the core from, etc., etc. We've seen a lot of these in the past. Well, a lot of work went into making all of these boxes. Can't believe they just let them sit here. And of course, now all the shelves have tipped over, or people have pushed them over. Still not seeing a date. Okay, let's go back out this way. And turning, and we're going to head over here to show you what I was talking about. I said to myself, so why do they have a fence? Well, maybe, is there a shaft over here? Let me get across this. So I stepped out over here, and I took a look down, and you're just not going to believe this. I mean, it's just absolutely frightening. I got to get down on my hands and knees. I know we've got a nice concrete perimeter here. I'm going to adjust the lights, and I'm going to hang on to my camera nice and tight to show you guys. That's death. Okay, here we go. That is death right there. Whew, golly. Well, we know that this went down 800 feet, but I'll bet there's a sizable debris field down there. So I want to drop a rock anyways, just to listen. Let's go over here. We'll grab a rock, sizable one. There we go. And maybe we can hear this hit the bottom. Oh, goodness. How spooky. It's truly like you're on the edge of a cliff. All right, let me get the camera in the right direction. There we go. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Woo-wee. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Boy, wouldn't that be interesting to bring the torpedo out here and run the torpedo cam down that. So that's why, you know, guys, when you're out and about in places like this and you bring your family and you got little ones, okay, you got to keep a close eye on the little ones. I mean, look at this. I mean, it even fooled me. I thought it was just a sump. That's what I thought it was, just a simple sump for some kind of a motor or something like that. Here it turned out to be about a 300-foot shaft. So, okay, let's get back over here. And head back to old Bob. Okay, let's continue the adventure. Okay guys, here we are. Let's get a closer look at this. Sure would have been interesting to take a look back about, maybe 50 years ago. Let's see here. Let's get around the velvet rope. And there's an old danger keep out sign there. Right there. See that? I'll point it out to you right there. And then looking back up through the hole. Look here. Yeah, just as suspected. See? It's collapsed. Right where we saw that area with the drone. Nope, nothing left. But we looked, you know me. I just I'm not gonna drive this far out without looking. Okay, one more thing. I thought I saw something right out there past old Bob. See those stakes? Yeah, we've got a stay out, stay alive sign over there, so we might have another at it right over there. Let's go take a look. Okay, here we are. Oh yeah, indeed we've got one. And it had a door on it. Okay, let's look. Is this gonna be dynamite storage? Well, I'm not. Okay, here we go. I'm not geared up, guys. I don't have my helmet or nothing. So I'm gonna kind of break the rules just a little bit. But I don't want to put on all of my gear just to find out if it's a prospect or dynamite storage. Geology's looking good. Nothing's gonna come down on my head. Ooh, it's wet in here. Yeah, it's damp. Real damp. Let's poke the light up in there. Yeah, doesn't look like it's gonna go very far. It's gonna go up here to a big old pack rat nest. Ooh, it's stinky. P.U. Yeah, see? But as I turn around here, you know, you guys don't see me do these kinds of things. I'm always doing it off camera. You know, there's a lot of times I don't suit up because I know it's more than likely just gonna be something small. But hey, at least we looked, right? Okay, I'll meet you guys back over there by old Bob. Well, all right, guys. Well, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was a good time. Now, you know, of course, a person could spend hours and hours going through every little nook and cranny, over and top, over all the various ruins and things like that, and you just might discover something pretty darn neat. Okay, but today was meant to kind of give you guys an overview of the entire site. So if any of you guys are thinking about coming out here, yeah, it's definitely something to take a look at. But like I said earlier, be careful, guys. If you got little ones with you, boy, oh boy, that shaft over there, that's just super dangerous. See, that's why they put that orange stuff around it like that. They really should. The BLM really should gate that. That's, you know, I disagree with a lot of the things that the BLM does, you know, even though I do agree with the stay out, stay alive stuff. But, you know, some of the stuff that they do, I do disagree with. But for something like that, yeah, definitely. Come on, guys, get out here and put something around that. That's just really, really dangerous. Guys, thank you so much for coming along with me today on this fun aerial explore. And I'll see y'all again next weekend. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.